Well, hello, YouTube. It is so good to be live with you guys tonight. I hope I'm coming through okay. I know I probably look like a mess. I know I feel like I'm a mess, but it's been a very long week. Hey, Christopher, thank you for coming. Hi, Sharon. Hi, who's your prepping nurse? Hi, Ben. Hi, Rachel. I think I got everyone that's here for right now. This I won't keep you guys too long tonight because I know there's some other live shows going on, and truthfully, I'm just worn out. So it's been a very long week. I spent today emptying my refrigerator out and picking up things, and I haven't yet started going through stuff in my sunroom, which did get a little bit of damage. Not quite as bad as some people, but still damage that I'm going to have to turn into the insurance. So the nightmare is really just starting. Hey, out there somewhere with Jamie. Highlanda's Prepper Kitchen. Oh, it's so good to see all you guys. You have no idea how much your prayers helped me get through Wednesday. That Wednesday was absolutely one of the most terrifying things I think I have ever been through. Hey, Ice One. Hi, Carrie. I'm just so grateful to see all of you. So yeah, reading through your prayers until the power went out. I think is what got me through that night because I really was quite terrified. Hey, Robbie, I just have never been through something quite like that before, and when you go through a storm like that by yourself, it is a new kind of terrifying. So it really was a very long night. I am so grateful that the storm died down some before it reached us because, man, had those 150-mile-an-hour winds hit me the way that we first thought it was going to, my home wouldn't be standing anymore. So I'm just so glad that I'm here. And yes, my home does have damage, but it's livable. So, hey, CJ's grandma, thanks for stopping by. So, yeah, a lot of my neighbors did lose their roofs, as you may have saw in the video I posted today. On our last live, I was watching my neighbor's roof. It actually lasted about 3 hours before it finally blew off. I just felt so bad because there was just wasn't anything I could do, and I was just sitting here watching it blow away. So I think that was about the hardest thing. Hey, Tony. It was just sitting here watching pieces of houses fly by and not know if it was your house or if it belonged to somebody else's house. We had stuff flying everywhere. It was definitely not safe to be outside by the time I remembered about lowering my TV antenna. I was absolutely not going outside to do that. So it's kind of laying on the ground. I'm so grateful that it just went straight down and did not come through the window where it was standing, because had it done that, I sit right by that window, so it would have come right through me. So I'm just really grateful that it went straight down and stayed there. So I'm I could get along without my antenna. So I'm just glad that none of my windows got broken. I did get a big chunk of gutters, trim, and siding from the top of the house that came down, so I had some leaking in my laundry room. Luckily, there wasn't too much of anything in there worth anything that I cared about except the washer and dryer, and that was fine. There wasn't that much water that came in, but I will have to get that tarped and taken care of before we get another big rain that comes through. So, hey Patty, I'm glad to see you. Hey Mary. Yeah, we've had quite a rough few days here. Um, some of our communities are still getting hit hard. There's an area in Kissimmee that's not quite an hour away from me that is being evacuated as we speak because they're going to be flooded out in the next couple of days. So right now their homes are standing, but they probably won't be by the end of this coming week. So yeah, we're definitely not out of the woods yet. There's still flooding in our lower lying areas. I was extremely worried about the flooding for us because, man, I tell you what, we got a ton of rain, and that's no joke. The rain just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming, and anywhere that is a drainage ditch or any kind of a little dip or valley is flooded. So there we are still dealing with a lot of water. Um, the city did bring a generator into our park to help with the sewer, so I actually didn't lose water this week. So I was prepared just in case, but our water kept going and we could still do the things that we had to do. So I'm grateful to the city for bringing that out. There's a lot of uh, mobile home parks in this area that we all use the same system, so they made sure that nothing got backed up and unusable. So they took as good of care of us as we can. I did see police cars come through a couple times during the height of the storm. I think they were just driving through, making sure that we didn't need rescued or anyone pulled out of anywhere because it did get pretty bad there for a few hours. I actually was rethinking my decision about staying home. Um, yeah, there's a lot of vacation homes in Kissimmee. A lot of people are down here for the parks for Halloween, so there just is a lot of people in that area. Kissimmee actually backs right up to Orlando to the theme parks. That's what I initially came to Florida for, was to do a couple of units of pastoral education, and I did it at the hospitals in Kissimmee, and one of the hospitals backs right up to Disney World property, and at one point was part of Disney World. So that's a very large area. There's the part that's flooding is just a small concentrated neighborhood, but they're still probably going to end up losing their homes by the end of the weeks. But yeah, there is a lot of tourism and a lot of rental homes in that area, but there's a lot of residents there too. So they definitely need still need a lot of prayers. Hey Chrissy, it's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. So, yes, I am very tired. I really haven't slept much since Monday night when we first realized how bad the storm was getting, and when I knew that the schools were closing. That's when things started getting real. So I haven't had a good night's sleep since then. So I am quite worn out. Hey, Julie. But all in all, very grateful. Still have a lot of cleaning in my Florida room yet to do. At some point, that carpet is going to have to come out because it did get very wet. And if it doesn't come out, I know it's going to mold and cause a bunch of other issues. Hey, I'm awake. Yeah, it stayed. It kind of didn't take the track everyone thought it was going to begin with. People left Tampa and actually came into my county to get away from the storm and then ended up smack in the middle of it. That's what happened with Irma. Irma did the same thing. It did they You just really have no way of knowing exactly where they're going to hit until they actually hit. So they can guess, but it's really just hard to say because these storms wobble back and forth so much. And hey, Lori, it's good to see you. So yeah, it took a really unexpected turn, and where I am in the middle of the state, no matter what side of the coast gets hit, if it goes across the state, I'm gonna get at least some of the storm because I'm right in the middle of the state. So it's hey, Grandma Chrissy. It just is a matter of where the storms make landfall as to how much wind and rain my county gets, and this time we got a lot. So I was really nervous about the wind. I am surprised that my roof stayed on. Oh, thank you, Ice One. I'm just really happy to be here to see all of you here tonight. I was talking yesterday with one of the insurance adjusters that was already out looking places over and was told that a lot of people who had metal roofs lost all or if not part of their roof, and that I think is probably an accurate statement. Judging from my park, just about everyone that has roof damage had a metal roof, and the part of my roof, the part that got damaged was the metal part. The part over my house that was not metal was fine. So I think what he told me was true, and he also said that because there is a metal shortage and given the demands for metal roofing that is going to be coming in, that it's going to take many months and probably several years before everyone's roofs are repaired. So it's going to be a very long process. Uh, So, Madeline, that's a good question. My preps, I had gotten my storm preps and all of my non-perishable stuff in June. Our state always has a tax-free weekend for hurricane preps. So I had my water, I had my light source, I had batteries for my light source, I had matches for a second light source. I had canned goods, so really all I needed was a few perishable supplies, mainly food for Mr. Bubba and some bread, and that was about it. So my preps actually kept me from having to waste gas running all over the county trying to find water. You could actually feel the fear in the store from people who have not been through a hurricane before, that were out looking for water and and couldn't find it because it was gone. So that's what I learned during Hurricane Irma, because that's how I was. Irma was my first hurricane and I had not gotten my prepping supplies. I figured I would just wait, and if a storm hit, I would run to the store and pick up some cases of water. Well, I that storm taught me that you you can't do that. So now I get my supplies in June. If we make it through December without any major storms coming in, then I rotate that stuff into my working pantry supplies, and I replace that stock the next June when we have our tax-free weekend. So I learned that if you are in a hurricanes area, that's what you have to do. Uh, oh, yes, Christopher, Mr. Bubba was quite nervous during the storm. I He has a plastic tunnel and a big cardboard box in his cage that he hides in, and he not only would not come out of his box, but he's pretty much got one side of his box destroyed because he ate on it through the entire storm. So he is okay, Chris. Yeah, he was quite nervous at one point. I tried to give him one of his treats. Usually, when I open his treat box, he comes flying out of wherever he is for his treats. So he poked his head out of his box and then he went back in. He is like, "Nope, I'm not coming out." So I had to put his treat in his box for him. So he was absolutely petrified, but he's okay now. So but yeah, the one whole side of his box he has eaten a big hole out of, so that all he had to do was poke his head out and grab a piece of hay and pull his head back in, because he was not coming out of that box for nothing. Yes, he is doing much better today. I think now that the electric's on and I've had the TV going, which I usually do when the power's on. He's calmed down a lot. So I think he's feeling a lot better. But yeah, during the storm, I think he was just as scared as I was. So I did find myself wishing that I had went to a shelter, but at the same time I didn't, because I knew a shelter would have terrified him, and I didn't want him being here by himself, terrified with no way of getting to him. And hi, 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 Sonia. I saw you there. I had to move my glasses to see I have a sun glare coming in my window. Hey, Texas Fairy Godmother. Oh, it is so nice to see everyone. So yeah, I barely survived Ian. For a while, I wasn't too sure I was going to, because let me tell you what, that wind was was quite strong. It was something I had never experienced before. Hey, hey, Bear. Um, Yeah, I was really surprised the day after the storm. Usually when these storms pass, it gets so horribly humid, and I was really worried about having the heat and the humidity without having any air going because of the power outages. But I tell you what, Thursday, I actually wore a sweater all day. It was quite chilly, and by Thursday night, I actually had my house all shut up, and I was glad I had a blanket on my bed because it actually got a little on the cool side. I was not expecting it to be cold like that. Cause yeah, usually when these storms come through, it gets really hot and humid, and even right now, I have my 2 doors open and just a fan going, and I'm comfortable, so I was really surprised at how cold it got. That was very unexpected. Usually we deal with a lot of humidity after these storms pass, and this time it actually got a little cold. So I'm kind of looking forward to, well, I am looking forward to getting back to normal. I have not heard about schools yet. I do have two jobs scheduled, one for Monday and Tuesday. So I'm really hoping that we have school because I really need to get back to work. I had almost the entire week off this week, and with substitute teaching, when the schools are closed, you just don't get paid. So I need schools to be open this next week. Although I do still need a couple days to recover. I also know that I really need to get back to work. So wow, Bear, it's a little early for frost, depending on a well, maybe not quite so early for Minnesota. So I know usually northern Indiana around mid-October you start getting those first frosts. But right now it's 83 degrees here, which is just about perfect, and there's enough of a breeze blowing that it's actually pretty nice. So I have the windows all open and just the ceiling fans going, so I'm just so relieved. Um, Julie, it depends on where you are right now. I actually did get a UPS delivery today, so that surprised me. They're getting through. I haven't seen the mail today, but I wasn't looking for it either. I have a feeling it might be Monday before they actually start delivering mail. Some of the areas in town where there's a lot of trees had massive trees come down, so it may be a while before some people get mail delivery, but I I'm thinking probably at least here in the mobile home parks where that are open, we'll probably start getting our mail on Monday. I think they were probably waiting for the power to come back on, which mine came on to get mine came on at 4 o'clock this morning. So people are still getting power back on. Some of my friends have not gotten their power back on yet. It's it will probably just depend on where you are. Yeah, I do have to go to the post office to get my P.O. Box mail. I will probably check that maybe Monday after I get done with school. We usually get done around 2:30. I can get out of there depending on where I park my car. So I'll probably go Monday and check my post office box. Uh, hey Amber. Oh well, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it, and thank you for thinking of me because you all again have no clue how that got me through the rough parts on Wednesday until the power went out, and even Thursday it was still quite windy most of the day, and being a whenever I was able to get a hot spot to get out, I would pop on and read all of your prayer requests and well wishes. So that just really touched me, and that's what got me through. Okay, Julie, I will wait until Tuesday or Wednesday and run over and check my post office box. So I was going to do that before the storm hit, and then there was just so much other stuff to do that I didn't make it to the post office, and then I didn't want to use my gas because I had just filled up, and most gas stations at that point had run out of gas and were shutting down for the storm coming in, and I just didn't want to use the gas in my car to run over there, so I will run over there Tuesday or Wednesday, and I will definitely let you know because I just actually just opened that post office box, so it will be nice to make sure that there's mail coming in, and I'll definitely let you know. So I am going to get back to cooking videos. I've missed cooking the last few days. I'm actually gonna cook some supper when I get through, and I think I'm gonna videotape that because I'm going to be using some pantry supplies. Um, I'm gonna use a box of the potatoes that came in the box that Carrie sent me, and I'm actually going to turn it into a taco potato bake type thing using some of my canned taco meat and a packet of the seasoning mix. And I'm also going to use, because I had to throw all the stuff out in my refrigerator, I in my hurricane preps, I have a box of shelf stable milk that I'm gonna use for the potatoes. So I'll show you guys how to do a recipe using the box of shelf stable milk because I'm really glad I had that in my pantry because I didn't count on having to throw all that stuff out. So I'm glad that I have that. Oh, thank you, Marty. I'm just really glad that I have all you guys in my life, and you guys really got me through a tough time. That is for sure. Because when you're going through something like that all by yourself, it is just absolutely utterly terrifying. So it's not my first storm. My first storm, I had my mom with me, and I took her to the special needs shelter. So we were together for that one, in with a group of people where I knew we were safe. This time, that was a whole new thing that I just have not experienced before, and I hope I don't have to ever again. So, but we're definitely keeping an eye on things. We are still in storm season until the end of November, and they have actually had storms hit in December. So just because you reach November 30th doesn't mean that there isn't going to be a surprise pop up storm. It just means that the water's starting to cool off in the ocean for the winter, and it's not quite as likely, but it has happened in December before too. So we're we still have a couple of months of storm season yet, so hopefully we won't get any more. It was a quiet season. They kept saying how active the storm season was going to be, but it just takes one storm for it to be a major storm season, and it did turn into a major storm season. So, uh, yeah, if you guys could hit the like button, and once the live stream ends and the comment box under the description box pops up, if you leave a little comment in there underneath the description box, it really helps people find the show after the live stream goes off. And I do get comments after the live shows and from people who go back later and watch and leave comments, so that does help an awful lot. So thank you, Ice One, for that. Uh, yes, so just oh, hey, Pete McKenzie, thanks for stopping by. Oh, that's quite all right. I did my show a little bit earlier. I know that no Saturday nights. There's several different live shows going on. I tried to schedule mine before some of the other ones come on. I know I really like catching Adventures with Dano, so I'm gonna try to catch some of his show here in a little bit. And sometimes Cold War Prepper does a show, and every now and then the Biggs Prep has her shows on. So I've been trying to not do a Saturday night show, but I just so wanted to get in touch with all of you, and I knew this was a good way to do that. Oh, Mackenzie, I do have some damage, not quite as much as what a lot of my neighbors have, but I did have a piece of my house in the back by the laundry room come off, and I did have a little bit of water come in that room, so I am going to have to get that tarped. I'm going to have to get some carpet taken out of my Florida room. I did have a lot of water water come in that room, so I know that carpet's going to mold. I have a door. When the wind started, the door in my Florida room came open. I had no idea how I was gonna shut it. I knew that that door was gonna have to be replaced. I was just hoping that it would hold out during the storm. Well, it didn't. So I ended up taking a piece of rope and tied it to the door handle, and I pulled it shut, and I anchored it to the door going into my laundry room because that was fastened a little bit more secure. So I tied the two doors together, and then I took another piece of rope and put it around the broken door handle and went around the laundry room door into the laundry room and anchored it to a nail that was in the doorway, so it was like tied shut with two pieces of rope. But the ropes eventually broke because of the consistent pulling and the strength of the wind. That was strong rope too, and it just ended up snapping that rope like nothing. And the door flew open and got wedged into the dirt, and it just kind of like bowed into a way so that it will not shut. I do have it tied shut. Part of the bottom, um, the bottom part of the door was completely gone. So I took one of my windows that blew out of the the Florida room they had the windows are all screened, but the actual vinyl windows blew out, so I took one of those and put across the bottom of the door and taped that shut, and then taped a trash bag around it to try to keep rodents and bugs from coming in. Um, the Florida room is what we call a sunroom, so it's just a room that's kind of attached off of the main part of your house that's all mostly windows and cement. It has indoor outdoor carpet. It doesn't really need carpet at all. I just have to be able to get that wet carpet out of there before it gets all molded. So I actually don't even need carpeting in there because I don't use that room too often. I basically have a freezer out there, and then my utility room is off of that part of the room, and my washer and dryer is in there. So at some point when I get that room cleaned up, I'll do a tour and let you guys see that part of the house. But then I also have a closed in porch that goes out from my living room outside, and that leaks, so I'm gonna have to get that all redone. So yeah, there is work that I'm gonna have to do, but at least I have the roof over my house, which is the main thing. So the the one thing that really doesn't upset me, but it tore at my heart. I have a music book that I've had since I was 10 years old that my dad got me. I had out in my Florida room that was in a case. One of the few things that I have that my dad had gotten me, and I've had that book since I was 10 years old. Was it's very fragile. It's been very used, and very much love. That book has been there for me for through some very rough times. I've had it ever since I learned how to play the piano and keyboards. It got me through losing both of my parents. It just got me through some really hard times, and it got very wet. So I'm gonna try to dry it out and try to save it, but I'm not sure I'll be able to. So yeah, I'll be very heartbroken to lose that. I know it's a thing, but it was a thing from my dad. So yeah, it will hurt to lose that. I'm sorry. That's the first I've voiced that out loud. So that book meant a lot to me. So I thought it was safe in the case that it was in, but the case got soaked to the point that it went through everything that was in the case. So we'll see if I can save it or not. I No, it's a music book, and I do have other music books, but it really did mean a lot to me, and I wish now that I had brought it in. But life will go on. If I have to give it up, I will have to give it up. But I'm I'm hoping I can save it. I will lay it out and let it try to dry some, and hopefully I will be able to keep it even if I don't play from it. At least I will still have it. So I hope I can save at least that. I know a lot of the other stuff that I had out there is gonna have to be thrown away. So it's gonna be a lot of going through stuff and a lot of just throwing stuff out. Yeah, yeah, Chris, I will definitely take pictures of it so that I at least have that. That I didn't even think about that. So thanks for mentioning that. So yeah, I will do that. But I am still here, which I know is the main thing. For a while, I wasn't too sure I was actually going to be here for that much longer. So it really did get quite hairy. So, hey Pamela, thanks for stopping by. It's actually a quite large book, so the weight of it, I don't think will let me pin and hang it up like that. So it's kind of like this. So it's a huge music book. It's actually one of the first books that they printed for keyboard players. So I've had it for a very long time. I think since like the early 70s. So hey Uncle Al. I'm glad you stopped by. So yeah, we'll catch up later. Um so yeah, it's quite a large book. It had a little bit of everything in it. So yeah, I used it a lot. I used to go into nursing homes and take my keyboard and instruments, and that book has traveled everywhere with me. So yeah, we've been through a lot together. It's made two moves to Florida before I decided to stay here, and it even here I've used it several different places that it traveled back and forth with me. So it's been very used, and it actually was in quite fragile condition because it was so well used. But yeah, I will try to save it. Hopefully I can lay it out and just let it dry and try to preserve as much of it as I can. But yeah, everything else that was in that room pretty much is wet and needs to dry out and air out and be thrown out and gone through. And so yeah, I did have some screen windows that blew out, some blew down and have now gotten stuck. So that's um I had a lot of water coming in that room. Hey Salem, I'm glad you made it. So yeah, that room got a lot of not only just rain, but it was driving rain. So I'm actually really surprised that my freezer didn't get flooded out because I had a lot of rain coming in. Oh, good night, Texas Fairy Godmother. I am so glad that you stopped by. Thanks for coming. I am gonna be ending things here in a minute so I can get my supper going. There's a couple other live shows for later, but yeah, the wind blew so hard that it actually blew rain through my huge screen in porch, through the trim of the sliding glass door and onto the living room carpet. Did have just a small wet spot on my living room carpet, not enough that it's going to mold, but enough that I know how hard that water was driven in from the wind. So, oh, thank you for that, Chris. That means a lot. Uh, so yeah, we had an awful lot of wind, an awful lot of water, and I, even though I am gonna have to throw things out, I am still very fortunate because I know a lot of people, even a lot of my neighbors here have lost stuff. So I know before I close, I know a lot of people have asked me about donating and if I'm going to do a GoFundMe to help with my insurance deductible and loss of income. I'm shying away from doing a GoFundMe, mainly because they take a big part of whatever comes in. So when you donate to a GoFundMe account, they actually take like 20 or 30% of all money that comes in. So I even hate bringing this up, but if you are wanting to donate, I would say either reach out to my email address, which is always in the About tab of my channel. And as soon as this is over, I will put it in the description box. You can email me. I am set up with PayPal. I am almost thinking what I can do is set up and a second account with my bank to put donations in. My biggest concern right now is going to be my insurance deductible because um right now, bec- especially with being out of work, my insurance will cover most everything that was damaged once I pay my deductible, which is going to challenge me to do. So that's my biggest issue right now is coming up with the insurance deductible. They will come out and tarp my roof without the deductible payment, but they won't fix anything until that is covered. And FEMA will not cover anything until you have your insurance deductible paid. As far as I understand, my deductible is $2,000. So that's where I am right now. I do have a claim in with my insurance. They told me to try calling them after midnight tonight. I tried twice today. I ran my phone battery down waiting for for my turn in line. At one point I was on hold for 3 hours trying to get someone so that they could come out to tarp my roof. Um yeah, I wouldn't expect anyone to send that much. That's and I hate even bringing this up at all, but people have asked. So the best way is to either email me and we can do PayPal and I will put that into a separate account, or send a check or money order to my post office box, which I will also have down below, and that will go into that account. And then once I meet my insurance deductible, I can also see if any of my neighbors are needing help, because I know most of us that live in this park are on a fixed income and working 2 or more jobs trying to make ends meet. So I'm not the only one who's in this boat. So I know that once I meet that deductible, what is left from that, I'm I'm would be more than happy to help my neighbors out who I know, because right now I'm looking at the house across the street that's missing almost all of their roof. He just got down here today. He flew in overnight because I was sitting here telling them on Facebook that I was watching the roofs blow, and so he got on a plane and came down. So I know people are going to be needing help. So you all you all are gonna make me cry again, because just it just really, having to be in the spot to even ask for help is something I never thought I would be in. I never dreamed I would be in this kind of a storm. I never dreamed I would be out of work for almost a week. I never dreamed any of this would happen, and just knowing you guys want to help, you warm my heart so much and give me a reason to keep on going. So I honestly don't know what I would do without you guys. I really don't. You all bless me way more than anything that I give to you. So um a, a check is fine. Check or money order, or email me if you want to do PayPal, but check or money order is is perfectly fine. I am just beyond touch that you guys would want to help me with with this. It just, you guys make my heart sing, and you give me faith in humanity that we're not through yet. There's enough of us here that we're not beaten yet. So yes, Tony. So my PayPal is under the same email that I use for this channel, which is in the about tab. So I just have the one email address. So I will make sure it's in the description box down below, and it's always in the about tab along with my post office box. So um I will see, Mackenzie, if I can do that. I am pretty new to PayPal, so I'm not quite sure exactly how to do that. Oh, thank you, Cindy. And again, I don't expect any of you, if you all are struggling, make sure to take care of your family, because that's important. to me that you guys take make sure that your families are taken care of, but any extra that you have, just know that it will be used for either my insurance deductible or to help my neighbors out. Because right now I can see there's a crowd going next door to help them with their cleanup. So I've got amazing neighbors here, and I've already been told as soon as they get their roof tarped and taken care of that they're gonna help me get my antennas set up and and take care of things that I need as well. So it's just an awesome community to be in. So um yeah, I will definitely do what I can to figure the PayPal thing out. Um but yes, check or money order would be perfectly fine. I am okay right now because I did get my work check for last week deposited. That's the good thing about substitute teaching is you get paid weekly. So I did have enough coming in from last week to cover my bills that are coming in for the next few days. Um, but it just warms my heart that that you guys went to help and know that. Oh my goodness, Cindy. Yeah, I was watching that on the news. So make sure your nephew and his family are taken care of, and just if they need something, make sure, Cindy, that you get in touch with me because I do have an empty room for right now. And I am close enough to Kissimmee that if they need somewhere to go, it would be tight quarters for a little bit, but just let them know that there is somewhere they can stay if they need somewhere because I'm actually about 45 minutes from there, right up Highway 17. So if they need somewhere to go, Cindy, reach out to my email and we'll work something out. So so yeah, I do have a little damage, but I do still have a spare bedroom. My lights are on, my water's running, so they're they're welcome to bunk here if they need it. So just just let me know if they need any help. So um yeah, Salem, I did have to uh get rid of just about all of my refrigerator things. So I worked on that today and got that all cleaned out. There was a few things I could save that was in there. Like I know things like mustard and ketchup were okay. The mayonnaise I'm not gonna take a chance on eating that. I'm getting rid of that. I went to do a peanut butter and jelly, and my jelly didn't look quite right. It was a little on the runny side, and so I got rid of that. So pretty much I am okay as far as canned goods, but refrigerator stuff I definitely have to replace all of that. Thank God my freezer was okay. I noticed a couple weeks ago that it had ice caked on the shelf, so I was going to defrost it, but then when I heard the storm was coming, I waited, and I'm just so grateful that I waited because my freezer stuff was actually fine because of the ice that was caked on the shelves that saved the stuff in my freezer. I checked it as soon as the power came on, everything was still frozen solid. So thank goodness that had I defrosted that freezer when I was going to, it probably wouldn't have made it, but I did not defrost it, so the things that I had in my big freezer were fine. The freezer above the refrigerator, I had to throw all of that stuff out. I did keep some smoked sausage that I had in there. It had defrosted, but it was still really, really cold. And that all cooked, so I know that's fine, but everything else I got rid of. But yeah, I just had every intentions of defrosting that freezer, but God just kept putting stuff in my path that kept me busy and kept me from doing that. And I'm just so grateful now that I did not get that done. So now I think I'm going to wait until after November before I defrost it. So once storm season is over, then I'll clean that freezer out and get it all defrosted and cleaned out. But for right now, I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. So um yeah, that kind of stuff I've had to throw out. I'm gonna have to replace all of that stuff. Uh, the yeah, canned goods, luckily, because of the food pantry I get my food from, I was pretty well stocked on canned goods, and then the box that Carrie sent me had a lot of stuff in it, and then I had another box come that had some water, and thank goodness there was a case of the little cans of coffee because I really used that coffee up the last 2 days without power. I was so grateful I had those little cans of coffee. And then I actually broke into the case of the cans of Beanie Weenies because I that's actually comfort food for me, and at that point I needed comforting, so I had a couple cans of those, so I was thankful that I had gotten that stuff before the storm hit. And I just mainly need to replace refrigerated stuff, so it's Pamela, I think I'm probably gonna sleep tonight. I really haven't rested well since Monday night. The storm didn't hit till Wednesday, but I was so uptight and on edge and trying to get everything done Monday and Tuesday that I did actually work Monday. I didn't get home from school until after 3 o'clock, and I went at a dead run from the time I got home Monday afternoon until late Tuesday evening. So yeah, I really haven't rested since Monday. So I think tonight I'm probably going to crash. Um I think I'm probably going to go to church in the morning. I do play keyboards with the praise team, so I'm probably going to go to church, and Mr. Bubba needs some fresh lettuce, so I'll do that tomorrow and then work on cleaning up some of the stuff in the sunroom. Salem, usually I do grape jelly, any kind of jelly that doesn't have seeds in it is okay. I don't handle things with seeds very well. But anything that doesn't have seeds, I love, as far as mayo, I'm a Miracle Whip kind of person, but I know the price of that has skyrocketed the last couple of weeks, so I'm about ready to suck it up and do whatever kind of mayo I can get the cheapest, but, um, yeah, so anything without seeds and really, well, whatever mayonnaise is is the best price in your area is what I can do. So, um, yeah, yeah, Grandma, I am going to try to probably rest up tomorrow, and hopefully Monday I will be back teaching. I signed up to teach a math class on Monday and Tuesday. So hopefully I don't have to actually teach the class the teacher is supposed to have the assignments and everything, because I am not a math or number person. So this will be an interesting class for me to cover. And so hopefully I can get back into a regular routine starting Monday. I think that alone will help a lot, just getting back to normal. So yeah, Mackenzie, that's the chicken salad and tuna salad just needs that Miracle Whip. So um Salem, right now I've been pretty much doing high school. I pretty much just pick up whatever grades are open on the job board and whatever I can grab before someone else grabs. I really like the special education classes. I try to get those classes anytime they come up. I did a pre-K class one day. I didn't mind that too terribly much. I did special needs first grade class one time. I will never, ever, 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 ever again, no matter how much money I need, do a special needs first grade class. That class was holy shamoly. That class was wild. So absolutely first grade, never, ever, 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 ever again, no matter how much money you offered me, would I do a first grade class, because they actually made me do gym class with the kids. I use a cane and had to do gym class. So yeah, that was not such a good idea. So yeah, for first grade, never ever again. Um, I am signed up to try a fifth grade class. I haven't done the higher elementary grades. Um, so yeah, that first grade class, we actually had a kid climb on top of the tables and was crawling on the cupboards on top of the wall, daring me to climb up there and try to get him down. And I'm like, absolutely no freaking way. So yeah, that was just yeah, never ever again. So Mary, I teach whatever subjects I can grab on the board. So yeah, Monday and Tuesday is math. Later next week, I'm signed up to do an art class. Last week, I actually did um, it was a TV production class. I actually really liked subbing for that class because I liked how the teacher had a schedule done, and the kids pretty much came in and knew what they were supposed to do and fanned out to do their interviews and knew how to use the camera equipment and everything. So I pretty much just had to write passes for them and make sure they came back before the end of class, and that was pretty much it. So I like the TV production class. So I'm just yeah, whatever is on the board at a school close enough for me to drive to is the ones that I take. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the art class. I keep looking for so every once in a while a music class will come up. So far I haven't been able to grab a music class yet. Um I would enjoy subbing for that class. I would enjoy cooking classes. I keep watching the culinary schools to try to grab one of the cooking classes. I haven't seen those come up yet, but yeah, yeah. So hopefully the teacher note said the assignment is on their school site that they upload all that stuff to, and that the kids will know how to do it, and that all I have to do is like take attendance and be the adult in the classroom. So I hopefully I can handle that. Sometimes I'm not too sure, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting back to a normal routine. My biggest issue with the high school kids is keeping them off of their phones and doing their schoolwork. So that's that's my biggest struggle with them. And as long as I keep control of the classroom, I don't care too much if their phones are out. If they start getting out of control, then I make them put their phones away. So, oh, okay, Grandma Chrissy, thanks for stopping by. I need to end this anyway. I went a bit longer than I intended to, so I know there's some other live shows that I want to catch before I call it a night. So thank you all again for for stopping by and for being there. I am just so blessed that to have each of you as a subscriber. You just have no idea what that means. And yeah, Tony, the my email address is in the about tab of every single video that I do, and my post office box I know is under the last live video that I did along with the email address, but as soon as I sign off, I will make sure that that stuff gets in this one in the description box, and it's will also be in the about tab for the channel. So that will always be there, but yes, I will put it down below. So okay, yeah, Salem, I'm gonna head over to his show. So let's go ahead and oh, hey, Scottish Urban Prepper. I'm so glad you made it. We're just ending things so that we can do some of the other live shows, but I'm just so glad you all are here. And uh, again, if you wish to donate, you can email me at my email address. You can send a check or money order to my post office box, or you can email me and we'll work something out through PayPal. I am still figuring PayPal out, but we can try to work something out. But yeah, those three things, those three ways will really help out a lot. And I know anything extra, I will make sure that I help my neighbors out as well. So thank you again so much. And you all just have really warmed my heart and restored my faith in humanity, and I'm just so glad that y'all are part of my family. So um thank you all so much, and everyone have a great evening. And yeah, Tony, we're all in this together. So thank you all so much, and blessings and love to all of you. Stay safe, and I will keep in touch. I will do our regular Tuesday night live, and I will have another cooking video coming up whenever I get ready to fix dinner. So I will catch you all on the next video. Bye.